Hello my beautiful souls and welcome to my tarot card channel. If you're new here, my name is Jem and in today's video we're going to be talking about what do people assume based off your looks. So in 𝑒𝑋𝑒𝑒 readings you can view them how you like, you can watch the whole video, or you can watch whatever pile catches your eye as long as you take what resonates and leave the rest. Know that the way that I read tarot, it's about self-reflection, it's about showing you the different options you have, and of course it's for entertainment purposes. So don't take anything too seriously, also know that you have your own free will and trust your intuition. So let's hop into the pile selection. So for pile 1, we have this beautiful, gorgeous baddie. She looks like a goddess. She looks like she's been kissed by the sun. She has little cute rosy cheeks. She has a beautiful highlight above her lips. She has a cute little nose. She also has really pretty brown eyes, brown hair, and brows. She has this cute little dainty like necklace and these beautiful collarbones. So if that catches your eye, please pick pile 1. And then for pile 2, we have a photo that looks like it's been taken in like the 90s. She is a gorgeous baddie. She's like tan. She has beautiful eye color. Her eyes are like hazelnut brown. She's got beautiful lips. She's wearing like a Gabbana shirt. She looks like she has highlights in her hair that are a little bit more like a 90s style. She also has really cute eyebrows and long lashes. So if that catches your eye, please pick pile 2. And then for pile 3, we have this beautiful girl. She's got brown eyes. She's wearing glasses. She's smiling in the photo. She has dark brown hair, and she's wearing like a dress that's like black that is sleeveless. So if that catches your eye, please pick pile 3. Okay, let's hop into the piles. Hello my beautiful pile ones. If you chose this thumbnail, this will be your reading on what do people assume based off of your looks. So we're going to start off with index messages, and then we're going to do Pinterest board. But before we do that, I want to remind you guys, I do offer personal readings. So if you've ever are interested in getting a personal reading done from me, I do offer bundle readings, customizable readings, even Pinterest readings. It's all linked over there. Every single deck you see on my channel is listed. And I'm going to have an extended reading to this Patreon on Patreon as well. So if you feel like this reading resonated with you and you want to hear the extended, you could check it out over there. So let's see what we have for you, my beautiful pile ones. So the first thing we have is hickeys. I also saw YouTube on the bottom of the deck when I first pulled this out. So I think the number one thing that we're getting is the first message that we're getting is people could assume that maybe you receive a lot of hickeys. I don't know what that's coming out here. Maybe someone wants to give you hickeys. Maybe you're so beautiful that somebody wants to leave you hickeys. We have unstoppable. People could feel like you are truly unstoppable. Pile 1. Another thing I was getting, some people could view you as potentially a YouTuber, or maybe you pursue YouTube, or maybe there's something about YouTube. Another thing, what people assume based off of your looks is that maybe a lot of people want to be official with you. People could view you to be someone who wants to be official. Maybe you are someone who wants to be in a serious relationship. There could be some people who are stalking you, or people could feel like you are very romantic. People could feel like there are people who are interested in you that are keeping tabs on you. People view you, pile 1, as someone who has really sparkly jewelry, and that the jewelry you have could be potentially expensive. People could view you to be someone who sees a lot of angel numbers. Maybe people feel like you are very intuitive. You see a lot of messages, maybe a lot of messages everywhere. We have an ex here. There could be an ex that is stalking or wanting to be official with you, and there could be something about that. Besides that though, and it could be an ex-friend or ex-lover. Besides that though, pile 1, I think overall people could view you to be someone who is romantic. And we have heartbreaker. There could be someone who's heartbroken over you. So what people assume based off of your looks is that you're a heartbreaker, that maybe you have a lot of exes. You could also turn a lot of people on badly. And also if you're a man, people could feel like you are a hunk, or if you're a woman, people could feel like you are very beautiful. So that's what I have with your messages. Let's see what we have with your Pinterest board. So with your Pinterest board here, we have make me a spectacle. What does spectacle mean? So spectacle is a visually striking performance. People could feel like your performance is very unique and a visually striking performance. Maybe some of you have like a really nice desk, maybe a really nice view, so people just assume that maybe you get a lot of work done and you have like a really nice space to do it in. People could feel like you could model. People could feel like maybe you're like AI. People could feel like you look like AI. People could just feel like you look like you model, or you're just very beautiful. We have Oblivion here. There's something about logo designs. Maybe some people feel like you are, maybe someone's a graphic designer and that's coming out here. People could feel like you're good at baking cookies or just baking. There could be something about what people assume about you based off of your looks is, there could be something about you giving a seductive look. People could really like your eye contact. And people could feel like you're a little bit devilish or sinful with that image, potentially. People could really like your dainty jewelry. There could also be something, sorry, I did not mean to shuffle, but it says, you were in my dreams last night. Maybe someone in particular feels like you were in their dream last night and they're trying to contact you. Pile 1. What else do people assume about Pile 1's looks? People could assume that you have beautiful chocolate brown eyes. People could assume that you maybe do your own makeup and are good at doing your makeup. It says, a solitary maiden who only friends the birds and flowers and her companion books. So people could feel like you are maybe a lone wolf. Maybe you kind of keep to yourself. You keep yourself a little solitary, like you're kind of to yourself. People could feel like you make friends with the books, the flowers, and the birds. Maybe people feel like you are someone who spends a lot of time in nature. People could feel like, based off your looks, that maybe you're feeling sad, or maybe you were feeling sad lately. People could feel like you, it says call it home. Some of you guys are maybe like home designers. Maybe there's something to do with, maybe you are really good at decorating your home. Maybe people feel like you are very good at stylizing your space. People could feel like you flex, like you flex your skills. It says beautiful disaster. There could be some people who are assuming that you are a beautiful disaster. It says attending the funeral of my old self. Some people could be assuming that you have transformed or you are changing into a better version of yourself. People could feel like maybe you're leaving bad habits behind and you're no longer letting the past influence you or hold you back from your greatness. It says she moves like a knife. I don't really know what the hell that means. It says her lips are like the edges of galaxies, or like the galaxy's edge, a girl to kill for. Based off of your looks, Pile 1, people feel like you are a girl to kill for. People feel like your lips are like the galaxy, like it's genuinely so beautiful, and maybe some of you guys have really glossy lips. It like shines like the stars. We have she moves like a knife. People could feel like you move very elegantly. You could also have very deadly eyes, deadly eye contact, uncontrolled emotion. Maybe some of you guys are getting very in tune with controlling your emotions and no longer letting your emotions get the best of you. What people assume based off your looks, Pile 1, is that maybe some people feel like you are lost or lonely, or is it vicious? Maybe for some of you, people have, maybe you're going through a period of like that big transformation where you're turning inward and really just like reflecting on yourself and reflecting what you need, and asking yourself, you know, sitting down and like basically talking with yourself, like, what do I need? It says, watch the shadows dance, observe object of desire. People feel like you are a lot of people's object of desire. It says soft and hard. People could feel like you are Satan in high heels. Some people could feel like you are pretty poison. Some people could feel like you are soft and hard. Maybe sometimes you're soft, sometimes you're hard. That could mean multiple different things, or maybe that's something that you make somebody. We have paranoia. It says erotic paradise. Yeah, today has been canceled. Maybe today has not been the best day for some of you. How bad can a good girl get? People could feel like you're a very good girl, and that maybe you are becoming bad or becoming like a little bit devilish. Maybe more on like the, sensual side. It says lust at first bite. People could definitely, there could be a lot of people lusting over you, pile one. So what people assume off of your looks is that you could be very lustful. And then another thing is what other people assume based off of your looks is that other people are lusting over you. We have karma, never forget, never forgive, filled with poison but blessed with beauty and rage. Girls bite back, emotionally manipulative. It says bad girls dormitory, now look who got the knife. Okay, so that's what we're getting from those messages. What else do we have here? It says the spell could be broken only by love. There could be something about you breaking the spell. Maybe those messages that we were just getting, that we were getting when we clicked on this, were more of like the past version of you. And that could be something that you are letting go of. And it's like the spells are being broken by love, by adding love to the equation, by wearing your heart on your sleeve. And these could be things that people could really see in you. And like what people assume about you is that you're stepping into a place of love. It says, I was a romantic and sentimental creature with a tendency towards solitude. Maybe people feel like you're very selective about who it is you spend your time with. You could also be someone who spends a lot of time in solitude. It says, I need you and I need you. There could be some people who feel like they really need you. We have 777. What people assume based off your looks, pile one, is that you're very lucky. It says, I am mine before I am anyone else's. People feel like Sagittarius energy. It says obsessed. There could be people who are assuming off your looks that you are obsessed, or that you are a Sagittarius, or that people could assume that people are obsessed with you. People could want you to be theirs, but you're like, nope, I'm not anybody else's. I'm not something to possess. I am mine. I am mine before I am anyone else's. You could be very independent, pile one. People could assume, based off your looks, you're very independent. People could assume that maybe you have a bad reputation. People could assume that it was written I shouldn't be loyal to the nightmare of my choices. There could be something about you changing your direction when it comes to what you're choosing and what you're choosing. Know that every decision and know that every habit you are choosing. So for example, like when people talk about bad habits, like when they're addicted to certain things, know that it's because they're continuously choosing to do that. They're continually choosing to suffer. And like obviously there's more to it than just that. Of course, it's not black and white. It's not as simple as that. There's a lot more that goes into it. But it's important to know that you can choose to change. People have to be the ones to step up and choose to change. So there could be something about that. It's like choosing a new path, choosing a new direction, changing. Good luck finding my soul in another body. For some of you, there could be something about like maybe you've ended things with a specific person and you're like, good luck finding somebody else like me. Good luck finding somebody, like finding my soul in another body. Like no one could ever find somebody like you. So what people assume off of your looks is like, you are unique, you are unlike anybody else, and they feel like they would never be able to find you with like somebody else. We also saw 444 while I was talking, so the number of stability, structure, emotional stability. So these could be things that you're manifesting into your life and people are starting to see in you. So that is what I have for you, my beautiful pile ones. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did and you'd like to hear more about it, we're going to have an extended reading on my Patreon. Thank you so much. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile twos. If you chose this thumbnail, this will be your reading about what do people assume based off of your looks. So before we hop into your reading, I want to let you guys know I do offer personal readings. So if you're ever interested in getting a personal reading done by me, I have tons to choose from. Every single deck you see on my channel is listed over there. And I also have bundle readings. They're customizable. You can let me know what decks you want. And yeah, that's over there. It's unlimited questions. Besides that too, I sell gym clothing. And also we're going to have an extended reading to this pile. So if you feel like this reading has resonated with you and you want to hear more, it will be on my Patreon. It not only supports the channel, it's ad-free, and it also allows me to say more 18+ messages over there. So let's hop into your reading. So the first thing that we have is Scorpio. Some people could assume that you are a Scorpio. Some people are assuming that you are maybe shy. Some people assume that you're very empathetic. Maybe you're really good at putting yourself in other people's shoes, understanding where people are coming from. So the main thing I'm getting is like people could really assume that you are, you have a lot of empathy. Maybe you have like a sweet look to your face is like based off your looks. People feel like you are very sweet, kind. People also assume that you have really smooth skin. People feel like there are people keeping tabs on you, wondering how you're doing, how your life's going. What people assume too is people assume that your life is as good as your mindset. It says be to attract. This could just be a message from the universe as well, saying you want a good life. It's as good as your mindset is, right? So we have to pull out the negative thoughts. We have to pull out the negative thoughts and remind ourselves that life is beautiful, and continuously to be in the present moment and be happy and appreciative with where we're at. So there could be something about like what people assume about you, pile two, is like the fact that your mindset is so abundant, the fact that you're able to just look at the brighter side, be present in the moment and see the beauty in things and romanticize life. It's like people assume that you have a happy life. People assume that you have a beautiful life surrounding you. And even if you didn't, it's because of it's like with the Buddha. It's like being the teachings from a Buddha. It's like they could live in the mountains with nothing. They could be hit with rainstorms and sand in hurricanes and whatever. It doesn't matter. But they could still choose to be happy. They could still choose to sit, meditate, and be like, you know what? I don't have to be upset. I don't have to let these things that are out of my control upset me. I'm doing the best that I can. And I'm good enough, just the way that I am. Another thing that people assume about you, pile two, is that you're a very hard worker. People assume that you work really hard. People could assume that you're also a Virgo. Some of you guys could be Virgos. People assume that you focus a lot on yourself. You focus on your mission, on your goals. People could see the love in your eyes. People could see how loving you, how you love the world. People could see how empathetic you are. There could be a lot of people who want to support you, and people could feel like you are very supportive. Based off your looks, you look like a person that has a sweet, kind heart, and that you're empathetic and very supportive. There could also be some people who are hiding their feelings about you, wanting to share their feelings with you. And also based off your looks is like people feel like maybe you like show off your looks because you can, and other people could be eager to want to show you off. So that's what I have with your index messages. Let's see what we have with your Pinterest board. So I say, hey. People could assume that you are an angel. You look like an angel. You talk like it. Walk like an angel. Talk like an angel. You look like an angel. People feel like you are their object of desire. People could feel like you look or like you see things very clearly. You could be very focused, very attuned with what it is you need at that moment. I keep seeing 444. Like 444 just came out again on my screen. There could be something about the eye contact you make with people could be very intense. People assume, based off of your looks, is that you see things very clearly. You see the messages from the universe very clearly, and you are very in tune with your own intuition. People could really like your glossy lips. You could have a beautiful sparkly lip or lip balm, lipstick. We have a deck of cards here. There could be something about cards, gambling. Could also just be something about like not being afraid to take risks. People could feel like you aren't afraid to take a risk. It says, due to mature theme, parent discretion advised. People could feel like you are very mature, and maybe you deal with a lot of mature parental things. People could feel like you have a soul that that lights others on fire. Like there could be something about you having like a deep, beautiful soul to you. We have 2-2, so the number 2-2 could be significant. I think you light people's soul on fire. So like what people assume based off of your looks is that you light people up. You light people's souls on fire. It says, you're so weird, it's attractive. People could feel like you're very weird and that they find that very attractive. People could feel like you are a girl gangster that flout the law. I don't know what that means. You could be maybe part of like some girl gang, or people feel like you maybe are like against the law. Like you are, says this woman's dangerous. People could feel like you're dangerous woman. People could feel like you're deadly. But the main thing I'm getting is, though, it says girl gangster that flout the law. There could just be something about you not being, like, maybe, that could just be something, I don't know. And listen to the music of the night. People could feel like you love to listen to music at night. People could like maybe the music you listen to at night. There could be something about drinking drinks with cherries. People could like the outfits you wear based off of your looks, as people look like, maybe you look like punk, or people could really like your scarf or headscarf. People could feel like you like to observe, not absorb. You could be the type of person who likes to observe things and not absorb them, not let anybody else's, opinions absorb in. Like, yourself, you know what it is you want. It says our fire, it is for us. There could be a fire in your heart. People assume that you are like a tiger. There could be something about you being like, maybe your spirit animal is like a tiger. You're very authoritative, fiery, passionate, and strong. We have books. People could really feel like you like to read books, or you read a lot of books. It says beautiful, violent, vulgar. People could feel like you're very beautiful. Maybe some people feel like you're a little bit violent. People could feel like maybe you're a little bit vulgar. It says, but all the chaos there is calculation. People could feel like you're magical. People could feel like your heart's a bit fragile, and they want to be very tender and caring for your heart. People could assume that you like to be proven wrong, or you like to prove them wrong. People could feel like maybe you're very stubborn and you like to prove people wrong. We also have take care of you. Taking care of you is productive. There could be something about you are someone who likes to take care of yourself. It says you can never be overdressed or overeducated. There could be something that's so funny. You could be someone who likes to dress up and just stand out. You are a main character, definitely main character vibes here. The color maroon could be significant to you, pile 2. It says, too legit to quit. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. It says you can never be overdressed or undereducated or overeducated. There's something about you being someone who really likes to learn. So that's what I'm getting. It says, please keep going. You're so close. There could be something about the universe wanting to let you know that you are so close to your goals. Besides that, though, what people assume based off your looks is that you are somebody who's not afraid to take care of yourself and you consider that to be productive. It says, oh, who is she? It says woman, enchanter, siren, croquette, plaything, mittens, or kittens, murderess. People could feel like you are an enchanter, you're a siren. People could wonder who you are based off your looks. It's like, they're like, who is she? They see you, they see how beautiful you are, and they're like, who is this? She is both healthy water and the flavor you taste depending on how you treat her. There could be something about you reflecting how people treat you. It's like when people don't reciprocate, you don't continue to give. It says, pick your poison. We have some more gambling images here too. It says, Mom, I am the rich man. People could view you to be the rich man, pile 1. People could view you to, it says, I will look for you in every lifetime until we finally stay. There could be someone who loves you, who is in love with you, that says that they'll look for you in every lifetime. It doesn't have to be a lover. This could also be a platonic person. But there could just be something about like what people assume about you is that maybe you're very deep, maybe you're very loving, you could be very loyal. You could also be someone who loves deeply. Like you're the type of person to say like, I will look for you in every lifetime, no matter what. People view that you are very lucky, very, very lucky. Pile 2. We have brain dead. It says, how bad can a good girl get? It says Los Angeles. Everyone use their magic. Everybody use their magic. People could feel like you use your magic, or you have magic. It says, take the mask off when you speak to me. There could be something about you being very open and honest about what it is you say. It's like you're not wearing a mask with people, and especially when you talk to people. We have dealer. We have candy lips. People could feel like your lips taste like candy, or people assume your lips taste like candy. Based off your looks. This is whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. And then we have Black Lotus tattoo. So dark the night, Sunday kind of love. I need to be alone for certain periods of time, or I violate my own rhythm. There could be something about pile 2, what people assume about you based off your looks is that you need a lot of time for yourself, that you enjoy a lot of time with yourself. People could feel like you are sugar and spice and everything nice. People could assume, there could be something about, I was also getting like 80s kid. People could assume that you're an 80s kid. People could assume that you're like, you know, from the 90s or 80s. Maybe again with the 444. Stability could be something very drastic coming out here. People could feel like you are an Avenger. People could feel like you're chasing your dreams, or you have a lot of dreams. It says, come close, play with my chaos. I became the inappropriate, outrageous, shirtly woman. It says 7 deadly sins. We have ghost, she did it anyway. One day or day one, it's your choice. Some people could assume that you are gothic. Some people could really like your style, your aesthetic. Maybe specifically if you wear like gothic things. People assume your archetype is angry goddess. It says, I fear no evil, the shadow is mine, and so is the valley. It's almost like, it's really interesting. There could be something about you not being afraid. The only like shadow-esque part that you see is the part of like yourself. It's like the ego, and you are able to work through it and like accept it, and that's why you're not afraid of anything. We have the happiness of watching the stars rise. Yeah. And your worst sin is that you have destroyed and betrayed yourself for nothing. What the hell is coming out here? It says, in a room full of art, I'd still stare at you. People assume that even if you were in a room full of art, people would still stare at you. People would want to watch you, pay attention to you. So that is what I have for you, my beautiful pile 2s. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next ones. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile threes. This is your reading. This will be your reading on what do people assume based off of your looks. So we're gonna first do index messages. So it could be something about people could assume that you have a Snapchat. People could like to message you on Snapchat. People could assume that you are a very abundant. Sorry, before we hop into the reading, I do offer personal readings, and I also am gonna have an extended Patreon reading to this as well. It's ad-free and it supports the channel. And of course, if you're interested in getting a reading, you could check that out. People assume that you have your manifestations coming in. People assume that you are traveling a lot, you're receiving a lot of money. People assume that there could be something about Snapchat in particular. There could be people who want to have children with you. People assume that you are the one. Maybe you are the one to do this, or like some sort of project, or people could feel like you are the one for them. People could feel like you are someone who is very stable without burning yourself out. People assume that there could be a lot of people who are proud of you. There could be a lot of people who look up to you, pile 3. People assume that you are spiritual. People assume that maybe you're Mexican, or that you live in Mexico, or that you're going to travel to Mexico. People assume that maybe you're an Aries. People assume that you're a princess, or you deserve princess treatment. And people could be wondering who flirts with you. And it says you radiate confidence, pile 3. So that is what I have with your index messages. Let's see what we have with your Pinterest board. So what do people assume based off of pile 3's looks? People could assume that you have been sleepless, that you haven't been able to sleep. People assume, it says, these mountains that you are carrying, you are only supposed to climb. So there could be something about, it says, these mountains that you are carrying, you are only supposed to climb. There could be something about, like, almost like the mental burden is making things harder than it has to be. Like, for example, like, you're not supposed to be carrying these mountains. You're only supposed to be climbing them. So maybe we could ask ChatGPT what exactly that means. I think that'd be a good thing to ask. Let's ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT, what does these mountains that carry...
Hey there, I've got a really great feeling about us.
ChatGPT, what does these mountains that you are carrying, you are only supposed to climb? What does that mean? So it says the quote, these mountains that you are carrying you are only supposed to climb, is a metaphor about letting go of the unnecessary burdens. Here's what it means in depth. Mountains means challenges or obstacles. In life, we all face struggles, work stress, self-doubt, trauma, fear, or responsibilities. Carrying versus climbing is to climb a mountain means to face it, to learn from it, and to move through it. To carry a mountain means you're holding on to the emotional weight of it. Guilt, worry, regret, or fear, even after you were meant to move on. So the quote is a reminder that you're not meant to hold the weight of your problems forever. You're meant to experience them, grow through them, and then let them go. This encourages releasing, stop overthinking, and stop replaying pain. Stop identifying the struggle. The goals is not to carry your challenge with you every time or everywhere, but to climb them, overcome, and feel lighter and freer. Wow. So that could be a big message for you, pile 3. That's what people could be assuming. People could be assuming that you are awesome based off of your looks. People assume that you love others so radically and they wonder why. People assume that maybe you struggled with or had some sort of emotional or mental trauma. We did see that here, right here. It says emotional trauma. People assume that you aren't somebody to just forget somebody. People feel like you aren't somebody that anybody can just forget. People could feel like 222 could be a significant number to you, which is the number of partnership, relationship, you know, groups working together. So there could be something about relationships coming out here. Maybe working together in a relationship could be something significant for you. It says, don't let those bastards grind you down. There could be something about you guys, like this is what people assume about you, is like people want to remind you, people want to say to you that you are doing an amazing job and to not let anybody make you second guess that. Pile 3. There could be something about a lotus. You could be beautiful like a lotus flower. People want you to feel free. People could feel like you do feel free. People feel like people can see you. People wonder if you see them. People could wonder if you need space. People could wonder, or what they assume is that you need space. People could be assuming that it's hard to see a way out, isn't it? People could feel like, it says girlfriend from hell, what the hell? People could be assuming that you might be struggling to see a way out of something, and to remind you there's always another way. There's always a way out of this. There's something about a tiger. We keep seeing tigers come out, and we do have a little scorpion here. We have the digital diary. You were created for nothing else but love. Love with its long-lasting, its ecstasy. She's magic, that one. People feel like you are magic, or magical. People feel like you keep trying and trying again, or this could be a message from the universe saying, try again. People could be feeling like, or people could be assuming you are in the middle of nowhere, or that you're in the middle of maybe something truly phenomenal. It says, my darling, you will never be unloved by me. You are too well tangled into my soul. People could feel like no matter what it is you do, they'll always love you. And people could assume this based off your looks is like no one will ever, people could assume based off your looks is that your partners, your loved ones, your relationships, every single relationship you have, like everyone truly loves you deep down to their soul. It says, can you feel my heart? It says, out of this world. People could assume that you are out of this world. People assume that you have the highest sense of love, radiating at the highest frequency. People could feel like, it says, I didn't say I liked it. I said it's fascinated me. There's a difference. People could feel like you are someone who really fascinates them and very curious about. There could be some people who assume that people wonder about you. People are fascinated about you. People wonder about you. They want to get to know you more. People assume you are a night angel. People assume, maybe could be assuming this. I can't say that. It says the future is now. People could be saying like you could be very in tune with your plans for your future. It says she wasn't just pretty, she was overworldly, vaguely threatening. People could feel like your beauty is threatening. People could be threatened by your beauty. It says love the moon and finding it's soothingly captivating. People could feel like you are captivating. What do people assume based off of pile 3s? Look, people could be assuming that you are programmed for pleasure, or that maybe you're like rewiring your brain to enjoy the hardship, to enjoy the difficult, like the hard work. People could be assuming that you are, it says, I'm not violent, I'm not malicious, I am a result. What does that even mean? Maybe this is saying like getting the work done. We have puta. There could be some people who maybe think you're BTICH. I don't know what the hell why that's coming out. I think you might have some haters. pile 3, but I also don't think you let them like stop you, and like they're just hating because they want to be you. It says don't let it consume you. I think you're also not afraid to have haters. Like you're like someone who's like, I'm still going to be authentically me. What you do frequently becomes your frequency. There could be something about you consistently. It says what it is you do over and over and over again is what it is you become. It says I've done so much with so little for so long. Can we do anything? We can do anything with nothing now. There could be something about people assume that you're very resourceful. People assume you're very resourceful. People feel like you are a dreamer. We keep seeing try again. It says people feel like maybe some people view you to have high anxiety. People could feel like you're very seductive. We keep getting such bad words. What is going on here? Goddamn right you should be scared. There could be a lot of ego coming out here. I don't rise from the ashes, I make them. Suffering is terrible fire, it destroys purity or just. It's terrible fire, it either purifies or destroys. People could be afraid of your potential. People could feel like you're a cherry bomb. Cherry, cherry lady, going through emotions. Love is where you find it. Listen to your heart. It says you are dearer to me than myself. It says stop caring, born. Okay, so I think it says alive out of spite. I think what I'm getting from here is that there could be a lot of ego messages coming out. You could have a really big ego, and like it could be what drives you for greater things. And there could be some messages that we're getting where some people like there could just be something about you stepping into more of your loving, vulnerable side and evolving into that. And like what some people could be assuming about you is that maybe you are someone who might be colder, or someone who might be like psycho or crazy, or bitch, but it's like you don't care about that. You're not letting that be your energy, and it's like letting that be and like letting it happen and just continuing. That could be maybe for some of you, maybe that's something you fear, and it's like just be yourself. Pile 3, continue to be yourself. That's all you need to do. Don't let these people, or don't let anybody make you think you aren't good enough. You are good just the way you are, and you don't need to do anything else besides just be yourself. And people could feel like you are, maybe for some of you, maybe there's a lot of self-reflection that needs to be done. Maybe people may be feeling like you're losing your way when it comes to your shadow self, like your ego thoughts that might be arising. It says maybe you're more of like a slow burner. Maybe for some of you, maybe there's fear clouding your judgment. So there could be something about that. What is your dream? What do you dream of, Pile 3? Is that your dream? Now, if this is your dream, then you know what to do. It is what your heart is calling for you to do. What does your heart want you to do? Now, walk with life with your heart on your sleeve, So, you don't need to fight. You don't need to be, in this survival place. You can be abundant. You can be peaceful. You can be present. And there could be something about that. So, that's what I have for you, my beautiful Pile 3s. If you felt like this resonated with you and you want to hear more about it, I will have an extended on my Patreon. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye.